The EU's top diplomat and its crisis management chief set off for Turkey Tuesday after President Tayyip Erdogan warned he could allow millions of refugees to head for Europe. EU High Representative Josep Borrell and Commissioner will spend 2 days in the country for high-level meetings with Turkish officials on the Syrian crisis and the law about refugees and migrants. New Zealand police said Tuesday they were investigating a threat made this week against one of the Christchurch mosques where 51 Muslim worshippers were killed in a mass shooting a year ago, amid plans to mark the 1-year anniversary of the March 15th massacre. Police said the threat to Christchurch and Noor Mosque was posted this week on encrypted messaging app Telegram. Reports said the message showed a man in a ski mask sitting in a car outside the mosque, accompanied by threatening text and a gun emoji. Police stated that they are confident the suspect will be caught soon. North Korean state media published pictures on Tuesday of leader Kim Jong-un supervising what they called a long-range artillery drill after Seoul said Pyongyang had launched 2 short-range ballistic missiles in its first weapons test for months. The images in the Rodong Sinmun newspaper included pictures of multiple launch rocket systems and several of a larger caliber rocket being fired from a launcher in a forest. The exercise came as the North battles to prevent a coronavirus outbreak. Leader Kim expressed great satisfaction with the results, telling the troops to keep in mind the iron will and ardent patriotism to defend as strong as an iron wall the socialist homeland dearer than their own lives. Joe Biden's presidential hopes received a huge shot in the arm Monday after former rivals Amy Klobuchar and Pete Buttigieg dropped out of the Democratic race and endorsed the former vice president ahead of the crucial Super Tuesday primaries. The dramatic turn comes at one of the pivotal points in a fractured, often bitter campaign, with the Democratic establishment desperate to coalesce around a moderate candidate who can fight off the surging leftist frontrunner Bernie Sanders. As the 5 remaining candidates in the race made their final pitch to voters in 14 states, Biden has capitalized on the momentum he seized at the weekend with a blowout victory over Sanders in South Carolina. Health officials in Washington state said Tuesday that 4 more people have died of the new coronavirus, bringing the state's death toll and nation's to 6. Georgia's reported its first 2 cases Monday, bringing the number of states with confirmed cases to 15. The disease that emerged in central China is taking a mounting toll on American nerves. Stores in regions with COVID-19 clusters were selling out of basic goods as people stocked up. The disease has hit at least 70 countries, with 90,000 cases and 3,100 deaths. The vast majority of cases and deaths have been in China, while the number of new cases recorded daily in the epicenter country has declined for weeks. The virus continues to spread fast in South Korea, Iran and Italy, prompting increased travel warnings and restrictions. China reported 125 new virus cases on Tuesday, marking the lowest number of new daily infections in 6 weeks. There were also 31 more deaths, the National Health Commission reported, all in Hubei province, the epicenter of the outbreak, raising the nationwide toll to 2,943. The disease first emerged in December in Wuhan, the capital of Hubei, before spreading to more than 60 countries. The number of cases in China has been generally declining after significant quarantine efforts, although the 11 new infections reported on Tuesday outside of Hubei is the highest for 5 days. Myanmar decided against allowing a tourist cruise ship, the Silver Spirit, to dock in Yangon with its passengers, days after agreeing to let them stop over for 4 days. The Deputy Director of Contagious Disease Prevention and Eradication for the Public Health Department said the decision came from the highest level. The Health Ministry was in the midst of preparing to test all those aboard the ship once it arrives in Yangon, when it received the order that the visit was cancelled on Sunday. The Silver Spirit, operated by the Bahamas-based Silver Sea Cruises, last stopped in Phuket, Thailand, and was scheduled at the international terminal in Yangon on Wednesday. Nepal's popular communist prime minister is in the hospital awaiting a second kidney transplant after months of illness. Khaja Prasad Ole was admitted to the Tribhuvan University Teaching Hospital in Kathmandu on Monday night. He said in a video message to citizens the surgery will be done on Wednesday. Local media say a relative is donating a kidney to Ole. Nepal's laws require a donor and recipient to be related and for no monetary transaction to be involved. Ole has long suffered from kidney illnesses and has made several trips to India and Thailand for treatment. Indonesia's most active volcano, Mount Merapi, erupted Tuesday, shooting a massive ash cloud some 6,000 meters in the air, which coated nearby communities with grey dust and forced an airport closure. Ash mixed with sand rained down on towns as far as 10 kilometers from the Pouching Kota near Indonesia's cultural capital, Yogyakarta. Authorities did not raise the rumbling volcano's alert status, but they temporarily shuttered the international airport in Solo City, some 40 kilometers away after the early morning eruption. The OPEC Club of oil-producing countries meets Thursday in Vienna as they weigh how to react to a sharp drop in global oil demand due to the outbreak of the new coronavirus. The extraordinary two-day meeting will see OPEC, led by the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and its allies in the so-called OPEC Plus group, foremost among them Russia, discuss how to hold the sharp fall in oil prices in the past 2 months as the epidemic has spread. At their last meeting in December, the producers agreed to cut production by 500,000 barrels per day, with the kingdom offering a further 400,000 barrels of voluntary cuts. Prices were already under pressure at that point from abundant reserves and weak global growth. Australia's central bank cut interest rates to record lows on Tuesday in what is expected to be the first in a spate of policy stimulus around the world to fight the economic fallout from the coronavirus. This was the fourth reduction by the Reserve Bank of Australia in less than a year, bringing the cash rate to 0.5% amid mounting evidence momentum in the $2 trillion Australian dollars economy has stalled. In a short post-meeting statement, Governor Philip Lowe said the coronavirus epidemic was having a significant hit on Australia's economy and that it was difficult to predict how large and long-lasting the effects will be. Jay Crowder scored 18 points off the bench as the Miami Heat locked down Giannis Antetokounmpo to hand the Milwaukee Bucks a 105-89 defeat on Tuesday. Crowder led the scoring for the Heat as NBA MVP. Antetokounmpo was held to 13 points at Miami's American Airlines Arena. The defeat was only Milwaukee's 9th loss of the season and helped Miami improve to 39-22 in the Eastern Conference playoff race. Australia's Ashley Barty and Serbia's Novak Djokovic have maintained their respective top spots in the tennis rankings. In the latest WTA rankings released on Monday, Barty has a best of 8,717 points and is followed by Romania's Simona Halep on 6,076 points. Switzerland's Belinda managed the only gain in the top 10 players, moving to 8th from 9th at the cost of 23-time Grand Slam champion Serena Williams. Russian Svetlana Kuznetsova surged 14 places to reach 32nd, and Britain Heather Watson moved up 20 spots to 49.